Simply Forex, Trader Tom here, and I am with you for the next 45 minutes. And the plan is as follows. We're going to take a look at the trades that I am currently in. We're going to show you trades that are setting up. There's in fact a trade that is setting up right now that you could also take as well. All right, so I'm going to show you that. We're also going to take as many of your questions as possible. So don't be shy. Come say hello. Leave as many questions as you like about trading. It can be about anything, guys, but you know, we're here to talk trading, but it can be about anything you like. And what else are we going to do? We're also going to take a look at the economic calendar, see what news we've got coming out. And yeah, we're just going to do some in-depth market analysis and look at the trades that I am in right now. So if that sounds like a plan, guys, let's get started. What else? I wanted to share something else with you today. I cannot remember. Nope, it's gone. I tell you what I have just eaten. I've just eaten a lot of milk chocolate hobnobs. Honestly, I have a crazy sweet tooth. Anyway, guys, here we are. We are going to start with natural gas, right? You're probably thinking natural gas, what the hell is going on, Tom? But it was just a trade that it's just an asset that I've started to keep an eye on, right? Because, you know, when we're on this live stream, people keep asking me, oh, can we have a look at natural gas? And it's just something I've slowly kept an eye on myself. And it happened to have a very good setup, right? And like anything, I trade price action. So you can literally trade anything. If there's a price action setup, you know, we can take it. So let's understand this natural gas setup. Yeah, let's do that. Right. I've just realized, because the editor's not here today, there's no banner with our sponsor. So I apologize. It's the editor's fault. Anyway, guys, natural gas, right? So here we are, natural gas. This is the day chart, right? And as you can see on the day chart, we are in a downtrend, right? We're getting lower highs, lower lows. We're in a downtrend, and prices retraced to the last high. Okay. And it also happens to be a very good area of what was once support become very good resistance. And ever since we've got to this level, just look at the candles we've got, right? We've got 2 days of bearish candles. Got this one and we got this one. And what I like about this candle is that the body of this candle breaks the low of that candle. That means there's momentum there. So, you know, when you get candles like this, right, and also this one, right, it just shows you price is stuttering. You know, it doesn't even break this one, just stuttering. But when you get the break of the previous daily lows, price continues, right? And that's what's happened with this candle here. Now, so daily we really like. We're going to take a quick look at the weekly as well, because if we look at the weekly, right, this too was in an uptrend, and then bang, it broke, right? And we're literally at the moving average 20, right? And we're at this area of resistance as well. So we've got dynamic and horizontal resistance. I'm sure horizontal resistance is in a textbook somewhere. Maybe not. Who knows, right? But lots of reasons why we like this. And then, as you know by now, guys, any of you that have, you know, been watching the live streams, watching my tutorials for a while, just looking for price action, right? Simple trend structure, etc., right? And price came up, hit that resistance level that we spoke about. It's came down, right? And now we are in a downtrend. We're getting lower highs, lower lows. We are in a downtrend. Okay. So yeah, this is what we're looking at. Now, another thing you have to bear in mind, like with natural gas or gold or copper, anything, it's pinned with the US dollar, right? So we do have the Fed interest rate later on today, right? So this could obviously impact this chart, right? And I may get depending on where we are with price, you know, I may exit this trade before the Fed. But this is where we're at, right? So I basically entered in here, right? Started selling, stops above here, and I'm looking to take price back down to these lows, right? And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the trade, the first trade I wanted to show you. And then, guys, what else did I want to show you? Yeah, so the second trade, guys, was Euro Swiss franc. Okay, and this is interesting, right? Let's get into this, right? Because this is one of the most frustrating things in trading, right? Now, let's understand the trade first of all, right? So for me, we are in an uptrend, right? Broke these highs here. Okay, only just, and we're starting to get potentially higher lows, right? Potentially. Price is hugging the moving average 20, but we're still above it. You know, it's just another piece of confirmation that I like, right? We got a bullish candle yesterday. And then also, if we look at the H4, we had a break of structure. You can also draw a nice trend line down here, right? So if we drew a trend line, yeah, you can clearly see, right? The H4 was, you know, reacting at this trend line, right? So not only did we break that trend line, but we broke the last high. This is the last high, and we actually broke that high. So we've had a structure break, and we've had a break out of a trend line, out of a downward channel. Okay. And then basically, guys, I'm seeing, you know, this H4 build up, right? I got a retrace. If I zoom in a little bit, I saw this big bullish candle. I'm thinking I like this. Buyers are in control. I will enter once it retraces back to this high, right? And that's where I entered. Started buying in here, stopped below here, and my target was in here, right? And this is what I want to talk about, guys, right? Because, right, first and foremost, we don't have hindsight, right? Obviously, right? Nobody has hindsight with it. You know, if we had hindsight, we'll all be millionaires, right? So this trade, right? I've entered here. There's my stop loss, and it's literally like a few pips away from my stop, from my target, sorry. Now, I really wish, and remember I entered here. You know, I wish I just took some profit, right? And then I could get, and then price comes shooting down, and then I could even get in a better buying area down here, right? But obviously, you know, trading doesn't work like that. And I'm just going to see this trade out. But it feeds into the idea of take profit, right? I actually done a VIP tutorial on this in the VIP Trading Academy. You know, and you'll see most of my trades are 1:1 because I'm increasing the success of my the probability of success, right? I'm increasing the probability of success for that reason. I'm taking 1:1. You know, sometimes I let some profit run, sometimes I take 100% of profit, you know, but this feeds into that idea. You know, I wish I took some profit in here, price come down, I would have entered again and been back in this trade again. But I didn't, and this is where I'm at. It's literally a few pips away from my target, and we'll see how this trade plays out, right? I want to see a nice bullish wick on this H4 candle, you know, to just give me the confidence that this is continuing. All right, guys. So, yeah, they're the two trades that I am in today. And as always, guys, let me just show you this. Within the Discord channel, we have the VIP Discord. And as you can see, I put all of my trades and where I entered in here, guys. All right. And also, please don't forget, within the free VIP Discord, let's scroll down because they're all in the same place in our Discord server, obviously. I also put Tom's daily trades, right? So you can see, guys, that was my Euro Swiss franc. And I'm also interested I'm really interested in these pound pairs at the moment. All right, so we can perhaps take a look at those in a minute. But if you want these trade ideas every single morning, please come join our free Discord channel. And also right now, if you join our free Discord channel, we are giving you a 50% off coupon for our Simply Forex complete trading course. So bloody join it. What are you waiting for? Right, let's see who is in the house. That's enough about me prattling on. Brett, afternoon, how are you? The live stream said it was going live at 3 p.m. Yes, the editor is getting the sack in the morning. Tony Gold, how are you, mate? I hope things are going well. Yeah, there's links there to my price action strategy, so go check that out. Mark, how are you? And guys, yeah, get your questions over to me. Right, Brett's got a question here. Tom, can we look at euro pound? The 4 hour is looking good for a possible short for me. What's your thoughts on this? So interesting, right? Because I am seeing now, this is why I look at multiple timeframes, because euro pound is potentially a buy trade for me. And I think it's a really nice potential buy trade right now, right? Because let me explain, right? Now, in fact, it's really looking like a nice buy trade. But let me, I'm already in Euro Swiss franc, but let me explain why. So if we go to the weekly chart, price has been waiting to get down to this level, right? There's a support level through here that's proven to be good support, right? And you can clearly see, right, we are in a nice weekly uptrend, right? And just this level here, right, what was once resistance is proving to be good support, right? Also on the weekly, just look at, you know, there's buyers coming in, right? Obviously this weekly candle hasn't finished, but buyers coming in, right? Now let's drop down to the day chart. Now this is clearly in a downtrend, right? There's no two ways about it. We was in this uptrend and then bang, we're in a downtrend. And this is pretty much where we're at, right? We're getting lower highs, lower lows. So I can totally understand why, from a trend and structure point of view, you'll be looking for shorts, right? Totally get it. But look at that daily candle, right? Look at that daily wick, should I say. Not even really the candle, just the wick. What a fantastic wick, right? Such a child. And we've got this nice big wick, such a child, bouncing off the support level, right? So it's very difficult for me to sell into that. You know, even if I only looked at the day chart, right, and not the weekly, right, and I didn't know this was a good support area, that candle in itself is difficult to sell into, okay? And because we've bounced off this area, I was thinking potentially buys for euro pound, right? But ultimately, I would like to see, you know, perhaps something like this. And then we get a break, right? And then I'll really be up for buying euro pound. But let's take a look at the H4 as well, because I know, Brett, you just trade the H4 pretty much, right? And I would say this level through here is important. But even if I drag that left, right, there's loads of price happening in this zone, right? So we had price reacting many times in this area. So at this point, we are in a H4 downtrend. But then once we start seeing this, I would suggest this is becoming an uptrend, right? We're starting to see higher lows, and this is the last lower high, I would say, right? It's the first time we've had significant price react from that area. So if it breaks that area, we're getting higher highs. So I think euro pound is a very nice buy trade from in here, stops below here, and take price back up to these highs here. That's how I would see euro pound, and I would look to buy this. So Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But yeah, before this, right? Okay, right? Your H4 is coming down, right? Could be a good area for sales, right? But now we know what we know with price action and this chart. I think that's potentially a good buy trade. And I would enter it, but I'm in Euro Swiss franc buys. So yeah, there you go. Right, what else are we looking at? Mark's got a question. 1% risk per trade seems the normal approach. However, when you are consistently trading profitably month on month, does it become more logical to up your risk percentage? I understand what you're saying, Mark, right? So, you're consistently profitable, why not start risking 3%, right? And what I would say is, so this is, I would work back, right? So when I got into trade, I started trading because I was just sick to death of my corporate 9 to 5 job, right? I would rather chop my thumb off than go back into that world, right? It's just mind numbing crap. Apologies to all my previous bosses. They were all pretty cool, but it's just crap. No one cares about their 9 to 5, right? If you're, I don't know, selling computers, you don't really wake up in the morning thinking, oh, I wish I sell another computer today. Who cares? The world does not need you selling computers, right? I apologize if anyone sells computers, and I understand people, you need a job, right? We all need money. We've got bills to pay and everything, right? I'm not begrudging it. And the corporate world gave me the platform to save money and follow a dream, right? And my dream was trading. Now, I trade because of freedom, not money. Okay. It allows me to work on my own time. I work from home. I can, spend time with family, my daughter. I can go and have a coffee with friends, play some pool, right? So I do it for freedom. And what I say to everyone is, what is your freedom number, right? What would you like to earn per month for you to be happy and content, right? Because I'm not doing it for money, right? I'm doing it for freedom. So let's say, I don't know, let's say it's $5,000 a month. You're like, right, I can live on that. If you're in Dubai, you need about $20,000. I'm exaggerating, but you get the idea. It depends what part of the world you live in, what your current financial situation is. Do you have other income from other sources, right? Etc. Etc. Right. But let's just make it a nice number, right? Let's say it's $10,000 a month. That will do you happily, right? Okay. Now, let's say you have $100,000 account. So I'm going to work back to this figure. This is what we want a month, right? And let's just say your capital is £100,000. So basically, you have to earn 10% a month trading, right? Which I would say is unrealistic if you trade 1% a month, right? So what do I need to get 10% a month? Let's say you've been trading 1% per trade for years, right? And roughly you make about 3% on average, right? Trading 1%, you make about 3% on average, right? So that is 1:3. So to make 10%, I therefore, to keep this ratio of 1:3, I have to risk 3.33 reoccurring, right? To keep this 1:3 per trade. So in order for you to get your sweet freedom number, you need to risk 3% a trade, a little bit over. But like you said, Mark, it's only once you are consistently profitable and you know your trading edge is played out over time and you have numbers to benchmark against, right? You know, on average, you make about 3% a month. And you've been doing that for years. Then you can start scaling up your percentages. And let's say, you know, your sweet number was $10,000, right? Now, you know, let's say your sweet number was, sorry, £3,000, right? So from a 100K account, right, you need to get 3% a month. Okay, so you can keep to your 1% risk because you've got this 1:3, and 3% is your magic monthly figure according to your account size, right? So I would work back, right? And this also plays into the idea and you know, why, you know, you need capital and why prop firms are so popular, right? You might only have, you know, $1,000 capital, right? But you're consistently profitable and you're like, right, but I've only got £1,000. I keep saying dollars because I always deal in dollars, but I'm doing pound signs. Bear with me. So you've only got £1,000 capital, but really for you to get your sweet number, you need £100,000. So then that's when prop firms, you know, become very attractive and you can do profit shares, etc. Right? So that's how I look at it, Mark, right? Now, if you are just trading for money, right, then you might have, you might be like, right, I'm just going to keep upping my risk, right? And I just want to get more and more each month. But I would say with that brings a lot more emotions, right? I trade a percentage amount that I'm comfortable with, right? And it hits my freedom number, right? So yeah, so that's my answer to that, Mark. I would work back and find exactly what you want per month and then crunch the numbers back accordingly. Ask yourself, do I need to get some prop firm money? Do what, you know, or can I accumulate funds from somewhere else, etc., etc. So there you go, Mark. I hope that helps. And also, guys, right now, just talking of prop firms, that wasn't a segue in to start, you know, mentioning our partner, but they are a very good prop firm and they are Blueberry funded. And right now, they're offering you 20% off any of the challenges right now. So if you go to our free Discord, sign up, you'll get the link and the coupon for 20% off any prop firm challenge right now. Right, Mark, hope that makes sense. Brett, you're welcome. Paramdeep, hey Tom, check copper. Amazing bearish flag pattern. Good opportunity for potential sells. Okay, what time frame are you looking at? But let's take a look at copper. Right, so straight away, I'm seeing some support here, right? So let's just take a quick, let's put that in, right? There's clearly a H4 level. So while I see it, let's put it in. And then let's do a top-down approach on copper. So, and again, guys, this is, you know, there are no secrets, right? This is how I trade, right? So I'm going to take a look at the weekly chart, right? And as you can see, we are in a downtrend, right? We're getting lower highs, lower lows, okay? So we are clearly in a downtrend. Now, this weekly candle is very indifferent, right? That weekly candle alone on the weekly chart says to me, I don't know what to do with copper, right? And as soon as I say that to myself, I won't trade it, right? But I will look at other time frames and get more information. But on a weekly, that is not very viable. because of that. You've got a big bearish body, but then you've got quite a bullish wick. It really is like 50-50. You know, if you split that candle in half, there's buyers, there's sellers, right? Tricky. We're in a downtrend as well, and we're at the moving average 20, right? So copper weekly chart is puzzling. On the day chart, again, puzzling, right? So I'm going to put a question out to everyone on the live chat, right? So very simple question. Looking at the copper chart right now, this is the daily copper chart. What would you say is the trend? Right? So everyone right now, let's get involved. You're here to learn, guys. So don't be afraid, you know, just share your thoughts. What is the trend on the copper daily chart right now? Everyone leave your answer in the live chat. I'm going to have a drink. Right, Brett. I'm glad somebody answered. Otherwise, this would have been a very awkward little episode in this live stream. Anyone else? What is the trend on the copper chart, day chart? Right, downtrend. Mark is bearish, so downtrend. Anyone else, guys? Don't be shy. I see Brett here. Happy wife, happy life. Is that not every man's goal? Yeah. When I was younger, I thought, what are people talking about? But as I get older, yes, that saying is very true. And my wife constantly reminds me, remember, if I'm happy, you're happy. I think it's, you know, she's been programming me for years. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, happy wife, happy life. Dear. I'm going to have to do some reprogramming of this brain, I think. Right. Downtrend, 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 downtrend. Right. Okay. So let's look at the swing highs and swing lows. Right. I'm going to start here. Okay. I would say that is a substantial enough reaction, right? But if we just, let's start down here. But if we just follow this, this is where we're at, right? So ultimately, we are in a downtrend, right? We're getting lower highs and we're getting lower lows. So we are in a downtrend. But what puts a little bit of doubt in our mind, like every you know, you wasn't like all downtrend. Everyone had to think a little bit. And it's because of this and this ping up from this level, right? Now, because we're predominantly in a downtrend, right? If we start to see bearish candles, like let's say this candle finishes like it did today, then yeah, looking for sells, right? And you can kind of see that buyers are just thinking sod this, right? Yeah, so look, they've got these big sellers, and then buyers look at buyers. Buyers are so weak. Buyers are weaker than my brain when my wife programs me, right? I'm just like, yeah, okay. So look at these buyers, right? That one's got a top wick. Top wick. This wick closes back into this wick. That wick closes back into that wick, right? Buyers are pathetic. Okay, and then sure enough, it'll just get to a point where buyers have become weaker and weaker and weaker, and then you end up seeing a big bearish candle like that, right? Then I would be interested in selling copper, right? I'd sell it from here. This would be my first target though, right? Maybe get a retrace in here somewhere back down to here, right? Who asked me this question? Paramdeep, right? So you were saying a flag, sorry guys, I'm just amazing, a bearish flag pattern. Okay, so I'm assuming you're seeing this, right? And there's your, yeah, a bearish flag pattern. Is this what you're seeing, Prandeep? So, okay, yeah, I get that. And if we start seeing this big bearish candle break below that candle, then like I said, happy days, right? We can take price back down to here, if not further, right? Again, as with natural gas, gold, copper, silver, oil, it's all pinned against the US dollar, right? And we do have the interest rate later today. Now, let's have a look at the H4. Now, for me, guys, I need to see a break of this level, right? Because you can see on the H4, we're clearly in an uptrend, right? This is where we're at. So if we got a break of these lows, that we get a nice big bearish candle, then okay, I would consider selling this market, right? I still need to see that bearish daily candle, which is what you would get if we end up with a big bearish candle like this, right? But even then, I'd still want to retrace. Excuse me, just bringing out my chocolate hobnobs that I had. Too much information. Right, but if we retrace into here somewhere, the moving average 20 comes round, right, then I'm interested in selling back down to this 4.55 psychological level. So that's exactly how I would trade copper. So we shall see, guys. Yeah, just to take a look at the economic calendar, right? We have got, the FOMC statement later on today and the press conference, right? And usually, right, the interest rate is as expected, so there won't be too much movement. But then what is said in this press conference, that's when it all goes buck wild crazy. And buck wild crazy is an economic term that the Fed might use. So yeah, any of these trades need to be careful with that, guys. But yeah, all right, there's copper. Guys, can I just ask everyone, if you're enjoying my analysis, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Thank you very much. Also, guys, if you haven't already, why not join our trading community? Right? It's beautiful traders, wonderful people sharing knowledge, ideas, having a chit chat about candles. I just saw some candles. Yeah, so come join our free Discord channel. And right now, guys, if you join our free Discord channel, we will give you a code for 50% off our Simply Forex complete trading course, right? So no brainer, come join it. Also, guys, if you want access to all of our premium trading education, please go check out the website, www.simply-forex.com. On there, you've got the course that I just mentioned. You've got the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one. And you've also got the VIP Trading Academy as well. So check all that out. And also, guys, today's live stream is brought to you by Blueberry Funded. So we mentioned prop firms earlier on. So if you want a world-class prop firm backed by a broker, a world-class broker, then check out Blueberry Funded, guys. And right now, if you use code Simply20 and our link, you'll get 20% off any prop firm challenge right now. All the information is in our bits and pieces below. Not sure where they are, to be fair. Right, we just had an alarm on Euro Swiss franc. Okay, this is not what I want to see. I am buying Euro Swiss franc. But let's see, right? Let's see how price reacts here. Like I say, my stop loss is just below here. All right, and we've still got, 25 minutes of this H4 candle to form. But that is looking pretty ominous, guys. Let's go look at the H1. Yeah, it feels like something's happened there. Yeah, there was no news coming out, right? You know, when I see Swiss franc or yen start to do this, I take a look at the indices, right? Are the indices starting to drop like stones? Yes, right, there you go. So when the indices drop like stones, it's not, you know, this is the H1, right? Put it in perspective. It's not a massive drop. But because this is dropping, right, then, you know, flight to safeties like yen and Swiss franc, right, tend to get strength, right? And that's what we're seeing with my Euro Swiss franc trade. Also gold. So let's take a look at that, right? Let's see if these flight to safeties are all following suit. So if we look at gold, okay, so gold's not really reacting there. That might be because of this is against the US dollar, right? Let's have a look at a yen pair. Let's look at pound yen. Okay, so we're getting a bit of a, not much of a reaction really. Let's have a look at another yen pair. Okay, quite muted. Just having some real Swiss franc strength. Anyway, right, let's see. Let's see how that H4 candle plays out. Let's go back to my natural gas trade. Okay. This is also looking a little ominous. Right, my stop is up here, guys. If we go back to the H4, right, my stop's up here. Okay, let's see how this plays out, guys. All right. Yeah, okay. So, right, let's take a look at a few more questions. So, Kaidas is agreeing. So, you know, Tom, we traders can't go back even if we get good salaries. The point is owning your time and use it as you at your will. Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah, I couldn't go back to a corporate job. I just couldn't. You know, I could do something like things I enjoy. Right? You know, I enjoy teaching traders. Right? I could do something like that, but I still want to do it as my own thing and in my own time. Right? So yeah, find out what you enjoy, guys, and try and go for it. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, so Janish wants to look at pound yen. Janish, every day you want to look at pound yen, literally every day. So let's do that. Right, it's really not looking too good for my net. Okay, that's okay. We'll see how it plays out at this level. Right, let's have a look at pound yen. Where are we? Is this the only pair you trade, Janish? Right, do you only trade one pair? I'm interested. I'm interested to know. Yes, Red November, wife changing gains. Yes. Right, pound yen. So not much has changed from yesterday, Janish, because I remember you talking about this yesterday. But pound yen is in a range. Right? It's in a weekly downtrend stroke range. So we can expect price to potentially make it to the top of this range, especially looking at these candles, right? Bullish, bullish, bullish. And as I explained earlier, the bodies of the candles are breaking the highs. Body of the candle breaking the high. There's momentum here, right? And now if we look at the day chart, we're getting a very nice candle right now, right? We really are. If this candle stays like this, right? So this is the day chart. You can clearly see we're in an uptrend. And we've got this bullish candle. But please remember, guys, and this is super important, do not trade until the candle has finished. Whatever time frame you're on, right? Do not trade it until the candle has finished. Now, this daily candle hasn't finished forming, but if it finishes forming and it looks like this, I will tomorrow 100% be looking for buys back up to these highs here, probably this 193 level, and let some profit run back up to these highs. 100% I will be looking for that. And let's just imagine the candle has finished like this right now. What will I be looking for? If we go to the H4, okay, so it's a little bit tricky right at the moment, because I would say this, right? You could see price is reacting in here, okay? And it will be interesting to see what happens with this H4 candle, right? Now, if price breaks this level, then it's still all about this level, right? So I'd be looking for, maybe price comes up a little bit more. I'd look for a retrace into this level, moving average 20 comes round. Then I'd be looking for a bullish candle, and I would be happy to buy pound yen. Or alternatively, we get a bearish candle here, right? And price just sort of stutters around here for the rest of the day. Then all I'd be looking for is a candle that breaks that level, right? Retrace, carry on, right? But it is very much dependent on how this daily candle finishes, right? But it's looking bearish now, right? And this is why you have to wait for the candle to finish, right? If I based my decision right now on this daily candle that hasn't finished forming, right, I'd be like, woohoo, green, 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 let's start buying, great trade, stops below here, right? And then you come back tomorrow morning and you look at that same candle and then it looks like that, right? You'll be like, what have I done? What an idiot. So wait for those candles to finish, guys, right? It's so important that you do that. So yeah, pound yen looking like a good buy potentially for tomorrow. We will wait for that daily candle. Right. What else are we looking at? Tom, can you not create a price action indicator to help people see price action as you do? Well, funnily enough, that is what we are doing. So when it's ready, guys, we will let you know. But we're sort of working on a price action indicator that basically works on the same premise as, what I do, right? Structure, trend. Okay, we're getting all sorts of alarms. So yeah, keep your ear out for that, guys. And also, guys, while we're at it, straight after this vid, we have got a hedging tutorial coming out. All right, or maybe an hour or two after this vid. So those of you that are interested in hedging, please check out that hedging tutorial. It will be shortly after this live stream. And on that note, guys, we are going to call it a day. Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for your time. Thanks for your questions, guys. We can't do these live streams without you. Really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed it too. And I will see you same time tomorrow, 8 a.m. EST. See you then, guys. The editor's not here, so I have to do this.